It is time for a game prediction. Who you got and why?
I think I'm still going to take the Patriots because I just think I like what they can potentially do on offense just a little more. I think they'll have a few more answers, but I do expect this to be a high scoring, close game. And that is kind of where my prediction is. Like, that's where I feel most comfortable in my prediction. Not so much the winner, but I do think the Patriots just have just enough on offense that I think they have a little more explosive firepower that I think is going to potentially give them the advantage.
Final score?
Ooh, 30-27.
Wow. I know it's in recent history, but I got to tell you, off the top of my head, I cannot remember the Patriots putting up 30 points the last time that it happened. This is like how beat down you are sometimes. The last 4 or 5 years, we had a great 20-year run, don't get me wrong. In New England, watching this team, 30-27. Oh, my God. I would skip out of the press box if that's the football that I get on Sunday. I'm so excited. You are never going to look better than you are just now making that pick, because I'm going with the Raiders. And I don't love it. This is a toss-up game. But when you look at the offense, and I agree there's more firepower there, there's also a lot more reliance on rookies. And it's Will Campbell, and it's Henderson, and Jared Wilson, and maybe, but probably not a lot of Kyle Williams. And that instability or unpredictability, the rookie roller coaster, has me worried. And again, I've already written, this is the most unpredictable season opener I've ever covered, probably in Patriots history. So whatever happens, I'm not going to be surprised. But if I had to bank on something, I'm going to bank on the team with the two best players in the field, Max Crosby and Brock Bowers. And probably for now, though I don't think this will be the case at the end of the year, the better quarterback. So give me the Raiders 23-19.
What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media, back with another episode of the Patriots Daily Podcast, powered by Prize Picks and Game Time. And today, powered by a very, very, very special guest. As you'll see on screen, it is, of course, Mina Kimes, covers the NFL for ESPN, and as you know, is the host of the Mina Kimes Show, featuring Lenny. And today, we're going to talk all things Patriots and their upcoming opponent against the Las Vegas Raiders. And what better person to have than Mina, lifelong Seahawks fan, and again, also covers the NFL. So we want to start with this, Mina, this coaching matchup. Two guys new to their teams, obviously veteran head coaches in Mike Vrabel and Pete Carroll. But what are you expecting from these two teams, head coaching perspective, and how they can sort of set their standard, set their cultures almost immediately with their new teams?
I think you've got two teams here who both got big coaching upgrades, right? I mean, it's appropriate that Vrabel and Carroll are going head to head because two proven commodities, two guys who have kind of, I would say, set a floor for your team when it comes to, win-loss records, no doubt, but also just general competence and game management, especially with regards to Vrabel, who I think is uniquely good at that. I think we're going to see two teams who are, because of that, both prepared to play, both are going to approach this with good game plans. I think both of the coaches, Vrabel and Carroll, are good at that. I think Carroll is a little up against it with regards to the Raiders personnel on defense, which we can talk about, but I suspect the offense is going to give New England some trouble. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I think there's a reason why both of these coaching hires were both so well regarded, both fan bases correctly excited about their team's decisions to bring in these two veteran coaches, and it should be a good matchup.
I think Stefon Diggs is going to cook in this game. I was a little dubious that he'd be ready for the first. I'm sure some of you can dust off my tweet when they first signed him, and Schefter's like, oh, he's planning on being ready for the first game. And my whole typical way social media overreacts to it. But it's like, first of all, really difficult timetable. Second of all, let's see the guy practice first. Like, it's great that they show these Instagram videos on their channels, but like, that's not real football. What's going to happen when he's in pads in August? People are leaning on him, his physicality. He's come out of it well. He looks quick. I don't know that he's ever going to be the Stefon Diggs of 2021. I don't think they're expecting that, but I have a feeling, especially if if Vegas is going to play the Seattle 3, that sort of coverage that they made famous, that allows for quick throws underneath. So Pop Douglas and Stefon Diggs, and I think there'll be maybe even consciously or unconsciously an effort to make sure that Diggs gets touches and gets involved early on in the game. I think Steph's hyped for this.
What do you want to see with Drake Maye to make yourself kind of feel good coming out of this one?
So a couple things, and I've said this a million times, turnovers have to come down. Turnovers
100%.
have to come down, and the number I've given is under a turnover a game. However many games he starts, hopefully it's 17, right? If he starts 17 games, 16 or fewer turnovers, interceptions and fumbles combined. But that can't come at a lack of production. You need to see the scoring go up as well. I had this conversation on the Sports Hub the other day with Mark Dendero, who pointed out, so many of most of the good quarterbacks in the league, if they didn't immediately take off as rookies, they led a team that was over 500, most of them a playoff team their second year. But even when you go through a lot of those guys, and some of the guys we looked at, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, I don't remember, there were a few others that we pulled from. Their second year, there is a jump in the second year, some bigger than others, but most of them struggled, relatively speaking, early in the second year. Some of them were just fine. Some of them were actively bad. And by the time you got to the end of October, though, that's when kind of the ascension started. So the growth is not going to be linear. He's not going to be better, one game after the next every single week. But also, I don't want Drake Maye to play his best game of the season this Sunday. I don't. I don't think that would be a good thing if we and that's not saying I want him to be bad. But if we get to the end of the season, we go back and look at it and say, oh, yeah, his best game was against the Raiders. You remember who peaked, and I mean really peaked, in the season opener of their second year? Threw for like 300 yards against the playoff team.
Oh, the Mac game versus
Mac
the Eagles?
Jones lighting up the Eagles.
I don't know if that was he threw a pick six in that game. It was
like 300 yards, Brian.
I know. It was a good stats game, but I didn't think that.
The point being, I want to see Drake Maye get better as the year goes on. I don't want him to suck out of the gate. But when you look at the way this generally goes, and this is for the majority of the good quarterbacks in the league, if you're going to take that jump and be a top 10 player, fair enough, Des, that was Mac's third year, actually. That's right. My apologies. But same idea. If you're going to take a jump and be a top 10 player at that position, usually by Halloween, your second year starting. So some of those guys, too, that I referenced, Jalen Hurts didn't really play his first year. We didn't count that, right? It's starting. By your by Halloween, your second full year starting, that's when you're starting to ascend. That's when you're really starting to show you can be that guy and showing it consistently. So that's what I want to see from Drake Maye.
I'm looking at a few things, okay? Number one, we've talked about this before about how Mike Vrabel ran his camp. And Mike Vrabel has he's going in with a 3-game losing streak in season opening games. His Tennessee Titans did not start the seasons fast with him. Will that change now? I have no idea. Pete Carroll, 2-1 in his last 3 season openers with the Seattle Seahawks. I also want to bring up, and again, these are projections. Who knows? My guy Aaron Schatz over at FTN Fantasy, his DVOA, he adjusted them for the season from when his almanac came out. He has the Raiders at 8.3 estimated wins. He has them ranked 18th in total DVOA. The Patriots are ranked 25th, 7.9 mean wins. What's interesting is, so his projection for the Patriots offense, for the units, okay, offense 25th, defense 20th. I think a lot of people would be surprised about that, and I might be as well in just a second. Special teams 11th. The Raiders 20th offense, 12th defense. I don't know where he's getting that from. I would flip-flop those two teams in terms of those rankings. 25th in special teams, even though I really like the punter, AJ Cole, Daniel Carlson, the place kicker. I think those guys are two of the best in the league. So with all that in mind, I keep going back and forth on this game, Nick. I'm going to pick the Raiders. I think I'm going to pick the Raiders 27-17. 24.
Oh
I am very fearful of Drake Maye trying to make something happen and Max Crosby coming from behind and tomahawking the ball out of his hands. Like Drake has to be cognizant of where Max Crosby is, and he never ever gives up on a play. He will, and he might even chase Drake Maye down after a 5-yard gain and strip the ball from him. Like, you never know. He is all over the place. I have nightmares in my head about Drake Maye getting sacked and strip sacked by Mason Crosby. That will not go away until the game's over. I just think that I really like Josh McDaniels against the Raiders defense. I really like Chip Kelly against the Patriots defense. I just think I like Geno Smith a little bit more in this game over Drake Maye. So I'm going to go with the Raiders by 3.
Okay. I have the same score, 27-24. Honest to goodness. But I have the Patriots winning 27-24. So we both like the over. We both think this is a 3-point game, which means I have a question for you. If it is a 3-point game, it's a push. We don't really want to do that, right? So are we going to change our final prediction here and mix it up and say, I don't know, 27-23? Do you want to do that? Or do you want to stand by it and say this is a push?
Well, yours is a push.
Yeah, mine is a push. Yours is a win. So should I keep my push, or do I go all in on the Patriots and say Patriots -3?
I think if the Patriots win, I think it's going to they're going to beat the point spread. So I would go up to 4.
All right.
How you feeling about Andy Borregales in this game?
Yeah, Borregales, 27-23. Patriots win because we all hate Greg. Everybody enjoy the football game on Sunday. We'll be back early next week to recap. Until then, be well and have some fun.